Uh, Let me get first to the accusations. A lot of times, us Christians get lots of accusations. We begin to talk about Bible prophecy, especially in the area of Bible prophecy, because when you talk about Bible prophecy and when you talk about how the media portray us Christians, they always like to accuse us of people who live in a la-la land who are so gung-ho on self-fulfilling the Bible. You know, we make the Bible, we fulfill the prophecies in the Bible in order to prove the existence of God. And I got a problem with that accusation, because if you look at the things that were fulfilled in our time, specifically the establishment of the state of Israel after it's been in exile for thousands of years, and we ask ourselves the question, in order for the state of Israel to exist or to have existed in 1948, created in one day, the element that caused this creation of this state is definitely, no one can deny it, was the element what we call as the Holocaust. The Holocaust is the main mechanism that fueled or ushered the process of establishing that state. So if we indeed are a people that are trying to enforce things to self-fulfill the Bible, that means us Christians must have created the Holocaust to fulfill the Bible. When in fact it was the very enemies of the Bible, Nazism, Islamism, even in the Middle East, Jews were persecuted. It is the very people that hated Bible prophecy that worked tirelessly for the things not to happen, somehow inadvertently worked on fulfilling Bible prophecy. In other words, it really doesn't make any sense. It reminds me of the story of Jesus. You know, the devil wanted him crucified. Crucify him, crucify him. And what that caused was really fulfilling the Bible. So as I said, the very elements that hate God end up doing God's work, and they have no choice about it. But such is the Bible. They accuse us of attempting to usher in an apocalypse, that we want to usher in the apocalypse. That's why we talk about Bible prophecy. When in reality, if you look at it, it is Ahmadinejad who's trying to usher in an apocalypse. He comes to the United Nations and he makes a speech, and he's the only one that's talking about this coming of this Mahdi, the enlightened one, the Muslim Messiah. I don't even see Christian speakers speaking at the United Nations or speaking, you know, at the White House in a political issue begin to talk about anything eschatological. The eschatological issues that we talk about is among our church gathering. Yet Ahmadinejad is allowed to speak about his eschatological belief, ushering in this coming of this Mahdi figure. In fact, a lot of times I get this argument that, you know, so what? Muslims believe in their God, Christians believe in their God, Jews believe in a different God, Buddhists believe in a different God. But in fact, in reality, the descriptions of these gods are a little different, but in reality, we all worship the same God. The God of the Buddhist, Jehovah God, Allah are all the same deity. You get that all the time. We all worship the same God. In fact, every time I go to a restaurant, you know, I try to witness to the waitress, whatever. You know, they don't want nothing to do with you because they say, well, worship the same God, leave me alone. I say, okay. In fact, that's the main liberal argument, that the Christians are kind of crazy because they always emphasize that we are so mad about believing in one God and we don't believe in all the other religions. We're not kind of universal. Well, I like to always argue and say, okay, if you think that we all believe in the same God, can a liberal carry a poster, we all believe in the same God, Allah, Yahweh, Buddha, and take that poster in the middle of the pilgrimage in Mecca during the Islam's holy pilgrimage and carry the poster and tell me how long they live? But there's a problem, because before they get to Mecca, there is a big major sign. It has 4 arrows, and the 4 wide lanes says Lil Muslimina faqat, which means only Muslims allowed. And there is an exit sign that says Ghayr al-Muslimin, non-Muslims. So if you're liberal and you want to take my challenge, may I suggest you take that exit very quickly? Because if you get there and you show your poster, they will bring out a crescent-shaped pendulum that'll strike your head, rolling to the ground within seconds. But they say, even if you're decapitated, somehow you still have few seconds and your mind still functions. And in fact, eyes can blink. So if you're there and your head is severed, may I suggest that you invite Jesus in your heart. Don't worry about the separation between your head and your body. That will be taken care of during the rapture. And I always, in fact, if you want to challenge me on this issue that we all worship the same God, next time you run into a Muslim, ask him a question. Say, what does Allah mean? They will instantly tell you, Allah means God. God and Allah is the same thing. The word for God in Arabic is the word Allah. Okay. Next question. My dear Muslim friend, I'm very interested in Islam. How can I become a Muslim? He gets very excited, of course. He will tell you very easily. Repeat after me. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. You say, okay. There is no God but God. He says, no. You have to say there is no God but Allah. You say, wait a minute. You told me Allah means God. Why do I have to say there is no God but Allah? If Allah means God, I can say there is no God but God. And I, as a Christian, agree.